The key themes of the Reform Party are stricter immigration, economic nationalism, the British Indefinite Leave to Remain, ILR, may just blink away in a twinkle. Nigel Farage, the founder and leader of the Reform Party in the United Kingdom, has caused a stir that is causing reactions and counter-reactions all over the UK and worldwide. He's proposing that if his party comes to power, he's going to abolish the current Indefinite Leave to Remain program. And what is Indefinite Leave to Remain in the UK? Whereby you are entitled to live, to work, to study in the UK and be entitled to some benefits. Some of the benefits you are entitled to includes that you don't have any immigration restrictions. You can come in and go out of the UK without any restrictions, but you cannot stay out of the UK for more than 2 consecutive years. If not, your ILR will be voided. So he's planning to abolish the ILR and also to increase the stake, when it comes to requirement for new applicants. And what he's proposing is that there will be new income threshold. The current income threshold as at April 2025 is £29,000. Prior to April 2025, it was 18,500, and it was so for quite a couple of years. Then he intends to restrict the rights of ILR holders to bring in their dependents, because with the current benefit, you can bring in your dependents, you can have access to a benefit, and a host of other benefits, which he's saying he's going to restrict to new applicants, and he's going to raise the stake for writing the English exams and the life in the UK test. Now, apart from abolishing the ILR, he still intends to rescind the ILR for those who have already been issued an ILR.
There are nearly 1 million people over the course of the next few years will qualify for indefinite leave to remain. They're part of the Boris wave shortly after he became Prime Minister. Once they get that status, they can bring dependents. Once they get that status, they can access fully all the welfare benefits in this country. Already, 1 in 6 on universal credit are foreign-born people. This is going to bankrupt us. So what we're saying is people won't get indefinite leave to remain, and that benefits, that welfare should be for UK citizens. Now, the separate debate is we need foreign workers. We need foreign workers. Well, if we do, that's fine. They can come under a special visa, they can work, but they can't bring dependents. They can't be a burden on the system. And actually, by having a proper visa system in Britain, we become like most normal countries around the world. Coming to work should not automatically entitle you to settle and bring your family.
And this has drawn the ire of immigrants. It has drawn the criticism from immigrant rights activists, political opponents, and immigrants that are affected. The top part of his proposed plan is to increase the number of years you have to qualify before you get the ILR. Currently, it's between 5 years to 7 years. It depends on the type of visa category that you are on. Not everybody have the same number of years. For instance, I applied and got my ILR this September 2025. I put in my application in July. I am on the spouse visa route. My route was a 5 years route, but there are still some other people who are on spouse visa route, and it could take them like 10 years. So it actually depends on people's personal circumstances. Like if they have issue of overstay, they have issue of finances, different things could mean different interpretations for different people, and it could be result in different process. So he's now proposing that he's going to increase the time for like maybe up to 7 years or more. Let's remember that Kemi Badino has proposed earlier that the route to British citizenship should be 15 years. Another reason he's talking about abolishing and rescinding indefinite leave to remain is the fact that, according to what he said, like those that have gotten their ILR, a large number of them are immigrants. That in the past few years they have spent over 250 billion pounds, of taxpayers' money on benefits for immigrants. But there are arguments that immigrants are contributing a whole lot to the economy. Now, listen to his explanation.
We can't afford it. If someone comes to work in the care sector and brings children with them, we have to educate them. We have to provide them with healthcare. We can't do it. And it's all the wrong way around. All the questions I get from journalists are, well, what about people coming into Britain from abroad? What about people here? What about people here who can't access GP services because of the exploding population? What about people here who are paying their taxes so that benefits can go to those that weren't born in this country? So we're asking for a rethink in terms of how we do this. And you know what? We will find care workers in Britain and from around the world who come without dependents.
The fact about ILR is that it is the path to British citizenship, naturalization. When you hold an ILR for up to like 12 months, it depends. Some people can get ILR like me, and I can apply immediately for my naturalization because I am married to a British citizen and I have lived in the UK consistently for the past 3 years. But for some other people, like the category that came in through the work visa, when they get their indefinite leave to remain, they have to still wait for another 1 year before they can apply for naturalization and their British passport. But this is a source of worry for the British people. But the fact that it's really annoying people now is that you are no longer fighting to restrict immigration. You are now fighting to kind of disqualify people that have paid their dues and have already been issued the settled status. So that is the criticism now. If you are making new proposal, it should not affect people who have already gotten their ILR. You know, so it's not even everybody that can get ILR because some people, especially people who are not from English-speaking countries, might not be able to pass the English test. Some people can pass the English test, but cannot pass life in the UK test. And that is a strong requirement. If you don't pass your life in the UK test, you cannot apply for British citizenship. If you cannot apply for ILR. So people in that category, what they just keep doing is renewing their visa status. So what now happens to those people? And they are legally in the UK. And you say now, even those who have crossed all the hurdles, because it is a whole journey. You start, for instance, like the spouse route, you have to have a spouse. You have to show that you are still in relationship with that spouse. After 2 years, 9 months, you have to renew, apply for further leave to remain. After further leave to remain for 2.5 years, then you now have to apply for indefinite leave to remain. And after applying for indefinite leave to remain, you have to still apply for naturalization. And then after naturalization, British citizenship. And each of this process costs money. I'm talking for a single individual, between £3,000 to, for those who have criminal records, are the ones that are not issued ILR before. So that is understandable. If you are in another person's country, you try as much as possible to stay away from crime, stay away from criminal activities. So, but what about people who have clean records, who have been issued? Why are you proposing that you are going to rescind what has been issued? But this it's not sitting down well with immigrants. Meanwhile, many Brits are the key themes of the Reform Party are stricter immigration, economic nationalism,